Welcome to the Thursday stream. I hope everyone's having an awesome Thursday. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Heat. Spread it forward. Hey, how's it going? Derry Bennett, welcome. Alio, how's it going? Coming out date was yesterday, so what'd you out as pronouns? Well, I'm cis. Civil war erupts in the Republican Party again. Yep, we'll kind of talk about it. What does the VS badge mean? Oh, the VS badge? The versus? Oh, it must be some kind of like super badge, super special badge. FMTG, well, Marjorie Taylor Greene, yes. I've missed the last couple of streams, but I bet this one will need some mods based on current world events. Hey, thanks, no problem. Luckily, we've been pretty, we've been pretty lucky on that one. Yeah, but based on, based on the events, yeah, I completely see that. Currently sitting in traffic, rush hour, jeez. Times like these are so tough for me, but engagement like ours is important to be said and seen so that public has all the time to make proper opinions and actions. True. We're paused. Pause the timer at 1-1 so I could make a wish. Did I? Oh, like the timer for the a thing? I don't know. It's supposed to go down all the way to 0. Michael Hausler, how's it going? My phone messed up and paused the stream. Oh, okay. I was like, wait, what? I mean, Stream Elements has messed up before. Okay, make me dab. All right, we got one dab. There you go. And playing a random rift on the mandolin. Okay, we'll do that first before we get started. Let me go grab my stuff. Did you hear more nonsense from Trump? Probably. Trump is nothing but nonsense. All right, let me go grab the mandolin. Yes, it's Riff. It's Riff. Or have I heard it wrong? No, I'm wrong on that one. I've yet to correct it. I'm the one that's wrong. You said that's Rift and I was so lost. Yeah, no, it's wrong. It's RIFF. Give me 1 second, folks. All right. Sorry, folks. Okay. Let's see what we can find today. Sharpie Diesel, welcome. Aw, come on. Mm. It's close. Sounds medieval, but also modern. We're getting close. I feel like I'm missing one chord. Hmm. Hmm. What is this? What about? Well, this might sound better. I feel like I'm missing something. I just don't know what to put there. Hmm. Maybe it'll come someday. Well, no, I need to make it now. That someday needs to be right now. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, well, okay. You know what? D. D works. How about that? So, that's what I'm going to go with, okay? There you go. Okay, that's close enough, right? That sounds like something. Does that sound like something? Oof, sorry, my fingers are. Would clean my cottage in the woods to this. There you go. All right, so riff complete. We have made a riff. go. All right. That's about as good as it's gonna get today. I'll tell you that. That last part kind of just came. I'm not sure what that was, but it made sense. It felt like it made sense, so that's what I went with. All right. One of these days, I gotta record all of this. I keep saying that. All right, folks. Let's get this started. So a few things that have started to come out in this whole situation in Israel and Palestine. There was and by the way, this is not the only story that's been massaged, to say the least. But I think that the truth matters, and I think that it's incredibly frustrating that not only are there lies, but there are lies where we don't need to lie. On top of that, if you if you haven't seen or been paying attention, there's been a story that's been circulated repeatedly around. It's so much so, and this is the more infuriating part, so much so that the President of the United States repeated that. And then, I don't think it was even a couple of hours, had to put out a statement saying, like, wait, no, I actually didn't see any evidence. In fact, I was just repeating what the Israeli government told me. And the story I'm talking about is the famous beheaded babies. That's not a thing that happened, as far as we know yet. That's not a thing that happened. It started off with like, Hamas came in and beheaded like 41 babies or something like that. Then it was, well, somebody told me that somebody told me that they witnessed this, to now, well, we actually have no evidence to back that claim up. Let me bring up what I'm talking about over here. And it's pretty infuriating because a lot of people repeated this. Okay? A lot of people repeated this with calls for genocide, and this is not okay. The Israeli government posted pictures, to be fair, but I would suggest not looking at them on stream. They posted 3 pictures. And given the Israeli government's history, it's a far cry from the claim that was originally made by some reporter who didn't do the due diligence of actually following up on that. That's what's angering. It's so reminiscent of like 2001. Well, what evidence would suffice? Like the actual evidence of the claim, right? Because if you're making such a claim of like an atrocity of like 41 children, then like you need to lay that out. The world needs to see that. So much reminiscence of 2001, but you said the pictures weren't enough. No, I said that they posted 3 pictures, which is a far cry from the 41. And And given the Israeli government's history of not telling the truth, um, they have not been independently verified at all. The Israeli government has not confirmed the specific claim that Hamas cut off the heads of babies during their shock attack on Saturday. An Israeli official told CNN, contradicting their previous public statement by the prime minister. That's what I'm talking about. There are reports of, yeah, also Hamas is known to be peaceful. No, my point is that you don't need to lie and manipulate people's emotions when Hamas is already bad enough. Like, why do you have to lie about this? Like, why do you have to lie? Hamas, you don't need to lie to make Hamas look bad, okay? That's what I'm trying to get at. It's not just the lies, but it's the fact that they're lying when they don't even need to. Some of the pictures they've been posting about Hamas atrocities were really things that the IDF did to Palestinians. I think we just need to be diligent and when checking sources and skeptical before posting anything. Right. The origin story of this was that it came from one person that said that they saw this. I don't think they lied, to be fair. I don't think they suggested that 40 babies were beheaded, but they certainly did suggest that a number of them were mutilated, which is unsurprising as it wouldn't take much to do that. Well, no, the specific claim which they had to backtrack on was that. And besides, like, why would you need to why would you even need to say that? Like, it was a very specific claim. And this isn't the only thing that they've lied about. This isn't the only thing that they've lied about. Like, you don't have to lie to make Hamas look bad. You don't have to lie. They did behead a number of people, which includes foreign workers. Yeah, I believe that. I believe that. Um, I believe that. So why are they trying to manipulate the emotions when they don't have to? Which are immediately followed by calls for genocide. Which are immediately followed by calls for like laying the whole place to waste. That's not okay. That's not okay, and it is incredibly irresponsible. To do this. Argo is a 2012 American historical drama thriller. Oh, okay. Um, remember about Jimmy Carter 1917 with the Iran hostages? Also, that's what the Argo film is about. And I didn't see it. And then all the way to the point where like the White House literally repeated that, and then they had to backtrack, saying, "Well, we actually never saw images that he literally said he saw." Um, was the reports based on fact or who was quickest? Probably it was originated by like one person who said it was one journalist who said that this was a fact, but then they backtracked and said that that's what somebody told them based on an eyewitness account to like, well, now we actually don't know like what happened. We have no evidence. So the point of me bringing this up is like, be careful what you're reading online. Okay, there's a lot of misinformation and disinformation. Um, I feel like I need a brownie. I feel that. Um, so my point of even bringing this up is like this misinformation and disinformation that's being spread to further uh, or to justify uh, these calls for genocide is not okay. News could be great in 6 seconds, but is it facts? You can get facts pretty quickly online, relatively quickly. Um, the problem is you have to be very careful as to who you're getting that information from. Okay. You have to be very careful as to who you're getting that information from. So to clear this up, because I was in a game just there, how I understand the story was that there was an interview with a soldier who mentioned it. Some say three. Right. Yeah, it was somebody who said that they witnessed this after, I believe, a team of people who removed bodies suggested they had also seen this. And today, some journalists report they had seen the photos of the Jerusalem Post, and then the government posted the photos themselves. Yeah, 3 photos. That's all. Um, so like, I don't know. I'm sorry, but like the original claim is a far cry from what evidence we've seen, and there's no need to be massaging the truth, especially like when it is followed and is being repeatedly used as a cause for genocide. That's just not okay. It's just not okay, and it's really messed up. And you see how this doesn't look great, where a position starts off as only one person said okay to only a few people and said, okay, there's photos, but okay to there isn't enough photos. No, my point was that the original claim wasn't true. Does that make sense? My point is that the original claim is a far cry from the evidence that they provided. Which, again, my original position or my original statement was you do not need to massage the truth. So why are you lying? Is my point. And then that same story is being used to justify calls for genocide. That's just not okay. I mean, generally, I would give some leeway to eyewitness reports in wartime because they can be extremely chaotic. I also understand that there's a religious and cultural element to them being very hesitant to post evidence. I understand that, but also, then wouldn't that mean we should be absolutely more careful about the claims that we make? Wouldn't that mean we should also be incredibly careful about the claims that we make, particularly when the situation is that volatile? Especially with that type of sensitive in that type of sensitive situation, wouldn't it then be more prudent to wait and say, look, these are the names. You don't even have to post like pictures of bodies, like that. You can post names. What if they're not lying? Does it mean we go with their genocide? What if they are lying? It seems like to be a great recruiter. Yeah, the only people that benefits this is like people like Hamas. And no, it wouldn't be okay anyways. You're right. It wouldn't be okay anyways. But there does seem to be a sentiment the bombing has only happened because of this story about the babies. No, I'm saying it's being used as a rallying cry. When in reality, this would have happened as soon as they randomly killed hundreds of civilians. But yes, it's totally wrong for mainstream newspapers to leave with the front page that then says allegedly. It's reckless. Yeah, especially in this type of sensitive information. And it's not the only thing. I'm saying that that particular story has been circulated and used as a way or as a call to be like, just eliminate Gaza. So yeah, again, you don't have to freaking post bodies, like post names or something, and maybe corroborate some of those eyewitness accounts. But it is irresponsible, it is reckless, and it's really messed up. The U.S. Salvador government called natives terrorists too. They even have an article outlining the atrocities committed by natives. Lots of them have become proven lies as a pattern among settler nations. It's nothing new, but by all means, tell us how you know better and how people in situations like Palestinians facing genocide should act or react. From what I saw, it was one reporter who said they heard it from the IDF. Yeah, that's the initial story that I saw. I may not have said it as eloquently, but that's the initial story. Somebody reported on it based on one eyewitness account. And my point being is that My point being is that all of this uh, is being used as a propaganda tool or as a rallying cry to then justify genocide, which is not okay. This is a particularly hard topic because there are lots of us who have championed the Palestinian cause for a long time, and it feels like a big blow to any sort of hope. The future hasn't really looked any darker than it does now for the region, from what I've experienced and learned anyways. Well, I don't disagree with that. And it doesn't mean that we shouldn't be championing the cause of Palestinians, not just because they're Palestinians, but because they're people, right? Because they're people. And those people are about to go through a lot, as if they haven't already. But right now, I'm just talking about like the order of events that have happened in recent times, like in these couple of days. They're about to get like not only just repeatedly bombed. There's literally entire like blocks that are just gone. And now they have no food, no water, no electricity, no medicine. The government of Israel has decided that they are going to threaten any type of aid that is coming through. They are threatening to bomb whatever aid is coming through. So this isn't like just about not only is it just about like Palestinians, it's about like it's about humankind and human beings. Not that they had much to begin with. Yeah. And why is that? This is already the most deadly year for Palestine since 2014. It's sad. It really is. I don't like Netanyahu, but he wins elections unless I'm mistaken. I mean, and I don't understand what that comment was supposed to mean. It's not hard. You're equivocating settler violence with self-defense. It's not the same. Well, I'm not here to run defense for Hamas. My point is that this is a humanitarian crisis. Okay? This is a humanitarian crisis where Israel has all the cards. The government and the state of Israel has all the cards. And it's messed up. And it's messed up because a lot of people are going to are suffering currently. Anyways. The point of bringing that up is media literacy. And to not forget, okay? And to not forget, because this is very reminiscent of 2001. It's very reminiscent of 2001. If you listen to the rhetoric that's being spat out, it's not good. It's not great. Okay? So it'll get worse. I think it's worth preparing people for that. I don't deny that. When news broke of this on Saturday morning, here and a friend discussed how we could end up seeing the collapse of any kind of Palestinian state permanently. I will curse both Israel and Hamas for bringing the pain to the Palestinian people who didn't ask for it and didn't deserve it. And 1990 with the Saddam is killing babies in incubators. Yeah, that turned out to be bullshit. The same world, what is it? Weapons of mass destruction nonsense. It's the same thing. And I remember that story. I remember that story because I've seen it in a couple of timelines already because people are referencing that. It's the same. It's a rehashed thing. Hey, Bond, how's it going? Hey, DT and Chow was on the stream last night as Hell on Earth. I don't think there were so many bloodthirsty people out there, but they were all out in 4-4s. Yeah, 100%. And, like, there are people literally completely okay with just like wiping out how much, 2.2 million people. They're just like, yeah, just flat glass the whole place. Are you nuts? Are you nuts? And they're using shit like that to justify it. That's why I brought it up. Alio with the 12 biddies. Thank you so much. Heat with the 13 biddies. Thank you so much. You wouldn't have Hamas as settler Israel? Yeah, honestly, I don't really give a shit about Hamas. I'm not interested in defending them. The timing of this couldn't have been worse either. You got geopolitics and chaos, and you've got unbelievably dangerous people in the Israeli government who have waited their life to enact this stuff. Sure. And now they have the perfect opportunity, essentially. What's your opinion on unions? Thank you for the 15 biddies. Unions are good and based and poggers. Maybe that's why Netanyahu ignored the intelligence that the Egyptians were giving them. I have a suggestion for 2 vids in that case if you're good with it, and also Pog Stream.
I have a suggestion for 2 vids in that case if you're good with it, also Pog Stream.
Well, thank you. I've never had one of those before. Thank you for the 1,000 biddies. Sure, send it to me by Whispers. What's up? Send it to me by Whispers. I was going to talk about the UAW expanding its strikes. But yeah, if you have a video, we'll try to get to it. Yeah, like, I was thinking like that maybe Netanyahu let this happen because it was beneficial to him, but like, I don't know. A lot of people have made the point that that this is actually really bad. This is really bad politically for Netanyahu, but maybe that wasn't the point. Maybe that wasn't the point. Maybe Netanyahu knows he wasn't going to survive this regardless. And politically, I mean. And he's just using this as his opportunity. Netanyahu is already facing quite a lot of ire. There will be hopefully a wrath against these far-right extremists in the country in time. Supposedly, there's a lot of people angry with him. Supposedly, there's a lot of people angry with Netanyahu in terms of like the Israeli citizens. Sent them. All right. They're short too. All right. Well, we can do that. No more ADT brought to you by Google. What? No, if you pay 1,000 biddies, apparently, it reads out the message for you. I forgot I set that up. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That was really generous.
Welcome.
Whoa! There's a lot of people angry with Bush in 2004, but war has tendency to get people in line behind a leader, even if they don't like him. That's true. Google banner has been there the whole stream. Oh, you mean the Google page? That's not a Google banner.
Amazon's JFK 8.
I do not want Netanyahu around, but he was winning Israeli elections. Maybe no more. I don't know, but like again, doesn't matter. He's still a piece of shit. Like Donald Trump won the election. That doesn't make him good, right? Like I don't know what the point of that is. Like Donald Trump won the election in 2016.
Welcome! We're excited to have you at this training, specifically designed to give you the tools that you need for success when it comes to labor organizing. During this course, we'll cover several important topics, such as our position on unions, associate rights, signs of employee disengagement, and how to identify, escalate, and address associate concerns. We are not anti-union, but we are not neutral either. We will boldly defend our direct relationship.
What? We're not anti-union, but we're not neutral either? Huh. So where does that leave you? Big guess, but I don't think Biden or Trump is going to win. Well, I would disagree on that one. I would say that one of those two is going to win. And out of those two, it's more likely going to be Biden than Trump. But right now, it's a pretty close race right now. It's hard to tell conclusively. The rally around the flag phenomenon is very real. The fact that they're building a coalition government just now in Israel would suggest that we need to wait a while before any sort of backlash. No, like just the people in general, based on like certain polls, they're not happy. In fact, even building that coalition government, some of the opposition parties were not happy and even boycotted being in that coalition government because Netanyahu didn't want to exclude like an extremist or something like that. I forget. So the one of the opposition people rejected his offer. So yeah, no, it's getting his political reckoning is coming. His political reckoning is coming.
Relationship with associates
Hopefully.
as best for the associate, the business, and our shareholders. We do not believe unions are in the best interest of our customers, our shareholders, or most.
Wait, so you're not anti-union? You're not anti-union, but you believe that unions aren't the answer? Hold on. What? Okay, sure.
Importantly, our associates. Our business model is built upon speed, innovation, and customer obsession. Things that are generally not associated with unions. When we lose sight of those critical focus areas.
Wait, there's that. Wait. How does being in a union affect speed? You're just working at the warehouse. Does having like a union membership automatically mean you work like 25% slower? What? Does the union membership fee like make you 25% slower? I don't understand. There's actually quite a big conversation happening in the UK because Keir Starmer came out and sided with Israel despite being a seasoned human rights lawyer. Whoo boy. Yikes. I don't know who Keir Starmer is, but a well-seasoned human rights lawyer? Yikes.
We jeopardize everyone's job security. We don't badmouth unions in general, but we will speak openly with associates about unions, including any specific concerns about particular unions involved in organizing. And we share our preference for a direct working relationship frequently and boldly, even when no organizing activity has occurred. You will learn about the warning signs most commonly associated with early
The warning signs,
as well as other warning signs that could indicate
warning
disengagement, vulnerability to organizing, or early organizing activity. While employees have the right to organize, we have a right and responsibility to share our position that a direct working relationship is better for the customer, the company, and the associate. In order to be able to do that effectively, it is critical that we recognize the early warning signs of potential organizing and escalate concerns promptly.
And escalate concerns promptly? What? That's what corporations think, but actual data shows that workers who get their needs met are more productive. 100%. But see, they're not interested even in that because they feel like if we can shaft them by continuing to shaft them in wages, And if we can shaft them by shaving off like safety concerns, we can save money there. Like it won't matter. But yeah, the leader of the Labor Party. That's a shame. That's a shame. Happy workers, sign of a union.
Notify your building HRM and GM site leader immediately.
Immediately report your workers. Immediately report your coworkers to the appropriate authorities. Oh man. Is this an Amazon video? Yeah, it's an Amazon anti-union video.
HRMs and GM site leaders should notify their assigned ER managers or ER principal immediately. The most obvious signs would include...
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Like, are we in literal kindergarten? Please make sure that that you alert your teacher if your classmate is misbehaving. Please alert your teacher or your principal so that they can be brought into the office immediately. What?
Use of words associated with unions or union-led movements like living wage or student petitions or other concerted activity such as...
Oh, God forbid we have a livable wage. Right. This is wild. Yeah. Key union words are living wage, grievance, a contract. A living wage is a union word. Okay. Oh boy. I've seen like bits and pieces of this. I've seen bits and pieces of this, but I've never like sat down and I don't know if I've watched this whole thing. Wow.
An associate purporting to speak on behalf of his or her coworkers when raising concerns. Union graffiti, union t-shirts, hats, jackets.
Union graffiti? Are you serious? Where I work, we have the snitches get stitches ideology. Nice. I'm a teacher. No thanks. Jeez. Full-time and in government assistance? Nope. Papa Benzo's Twitch streamers are complaining about their income. Stop Twitch. Well, no. What Twitch needs to do is get its act together and actually treat the content creators correctly. But, yeah.
Or other clothing, union flyers, and union visitors in or near the parking lot. Some signs are less obvious than finding the actual union flyer, but they can still indicate associate disengagement, which is itself a warning sign for potential organizing. Examples include associates who normally aren't connected to each other suddenly hanging out together.
What? Oh yeah, your coworkers like attempting to have a human connection? That's a sign of a union. Okay, report them to your principal immediately. Report them to the principal's office immediately. Yeah, 1984 type stuff. Yeah, literally, like unironically. Unironically. By the way, I just got a raise today, which puts me within the 5% of living wage based on market averages for the city, county I live in. Yay! That's where everybody should kind of be anyways, because it's the living wage. People should automatically be paid that. Anyways. I'm actually happy for you, Conscious Canuck.
Associates who were close suddenly stop speaking to each other. Groups of associates scatter when approached by management. Increased associate negativity, anger, or confrontation. Unusual complaints or change in passion or detail around complaints.
Yeah, you know what really makes me passionate? You know, I'm really passionate about like sifting boxes repeatedly. Like, yeah, it's just a passion of mine. Never mind like the rent that I have to pay, but yeah, it's a passion of mine to continuously like shuffle boxes around. Yeah.
Unusual interest in policies, benefits, employee lists, or other company information, or any other associate behavior that is out of character. For example, an associate who normally leaves promptly begins hanging out in the break room for an hour after work each day. In order to recognize warning signs, it is critical that you know what an associate's normal behavior is.
Warning signs.
Often, it is the change in behavior that is the warning sign, more than the actual behavior itself.
What? That's wild. All right, let's run through this one.
Amazon's JFK 8 warehouse on Staten Island employs over 8,000 workers. In late March, workers there voted on whether or not to form a union. The workers' demands include higher wages, longer break times, and safer work conditions.
We want people to have $30 an hour. We want people to have better break times and eating periods.
Data published by the New York Times, OSHA, and the Bureau of...
Where can I report abnormal management behavior? To the principal's office, A-Bond. The customers, true. Sorry, what's up? There's links have been disabled in this chat. Since I don't know how long you've been in this community. Oh, I just linked Amazon's website. Oh, okay. Yeah, but to give you the TLDR, Nazis ruined it for everybody. So, yeah.
Labor statistics show the warehouse has an extremely high worker turnover rate and an injury rate 3 times higher than the national average.
When you look at the pointless, avoidable deaths that happened during the pandemic, there are people who the outcome of this election is life or death.
But Amazon went to great lengths to ensure a no vote. Amazon plastered the inside of the warehouse with anti-union posters, and workers accused management of removing union material from break rooms.
Sorry, I was just wondering what you have right here.
It is illegal to take down union literature when it's in a break room.
2 founding members of the union, fired by Amazon in 2020 under questionable circumstances, were unable to vote. Chris Smalls.
Last year I was fired, wrongfully terminated for holding a protest.
And Gerald Bryson.
See the paperwork now. We know what they said, so why am I jobless?
It's not just, is the ALU going to be able to survive for another election if this one is illegally messed with by Amazon? But what's going to happen if the federal enforcement agency is unable to actually enforce federal law under the National Labor Relations Act? What rights is anyone going to have?
The organizing efforts grew out of a protest against Amazon's lack of COVID safety precautions in March 2020.
Yeah, I remember this. And also, shoot, I had a train of thought. Oh, also, yeah, like this also kind of goes to the idea of like elections matter because like the president at least has some kind of jurisdiction on electing or appointing the people who fill positions like in the NLRB, right? That's incredibly important. So yeah, in this sense, elections do matter, and they do have an impact. In this case, the NLRB that is currently under this administration is worlds apart. Is worlds apart from the NLRB from the previous administration.
We started to ask them, what do they intend to do to make that place safe for us? And all we could get was, oh, we'll get back to you. This proceeded from there to where we started to strike. You know, this is when we started to protest.
Internal Amazon communications from court proceedings obtained by The Intercept show that the company knew about the protest days before it happened, and that Smalls and Bryson were on a list of people expected to participate.
What's keeping people from coming out the building? These people got bills to pay.
Communications show that 4 days before the protest, an HR manager and her associate were already discussing the fact that Smalls would be fired after the protest and worried about the perception of retaliation for his termination. Smalls was then notified he was in close contact with an infected worker and ordered to quarantine.
I'm quarantined, but why they quarantine me and not my people?
Smalls was fired a few hours later. Amazon responded to our request for comment, stating, "We terminated Mr. Smalls for putting the health and safety of others at risk and violations of terms of his employment."
Basically, after that, we were protesting. They fired Chris for the first week, and I took more of a leading role the second week.
A few days later, while legally protesting in the parking lot, Gerald Bryson was fired for an altercation that was captured in this video. The video shows a fellow worker who came outside to smoke and initiates the argument with Bryson.
Ain't gonna shut it down. It's the only fucking job open, so appreciate it.
We don't have to appreciate something.
The exchange, which lasts about 5 minutes, has Bryson trading insults with the other worker.
Your mother's a hoe.
Go back to the Bronx.
Go back to the Bronx. I'm from right here. I'm sorry. Sorry, gutter bitch.
Just like your mama. You wanna bring it? I'll bring it.
I'm out here for you, because you can't fight for yourself.
The altercation happens. She goes back inside, and almost immediately, Amazon management springs into action to gather evidence about the altercation, starting with a statement from the woman herself.
NLRB has been gutted for decades. You should watch the Leisha Miller's video on unions. Yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt about it.
They said I called her a nigger and a cunt. And if I would have called anything, I would have called her a bitch. I ain't gonna call her a nigger. She's a little white girl. Like, come on, stupid.
A review of the full hour-long video confirms that Bryson did not use those specific slurs. Bryson was fired for vulgar language, and the other worker was only given a written warning.
If they'd fired her too, I don't know if we'd be here right now, right? But the fact that they didn't means that the reason they fired Gerald is because he was protesting. Not because he called her a bitch. It's because he was protesting.
An Amazon spokesperson acknowledged The Intercept's request for comment on Bryson's termination, but did not provide a direct answer.
I mean, you can see the paperwork now. You know, we know what they said, and it didn't happen. When you look at the film, it didn't happen. So why am I jobless?
The reason they fired Chris is because he had the audacity to tell Amazon they needed to protect their workers. When they fired up that anti-union machine and fired Chris, that was the exact same machine that was churning along when they fired Gerald.
The National Labor Relations Board took up Bryson's case in June 2020. The government agency believes that he was wrongfully terminated and that he should be reinstated at work, and Amazon notify all workers at the JFK 8 warehouse of his wrongful termination and reinstatement. Over the course of the next 2 years, Chris Smalls and Gerald Bryson, along with several other workers at the JFK 8 warehouse, worked to organize the early stages of a new union, now referred to as the Amazon Labor Union, or ALU, and were granted a union election by the NLRB. In response to the union activity, Amazon ramped up their union busting efforts. Video by workers inside the warehouse reveals the extent of Amazon's union busting campaign. Another video shows so-called captive audience meetings held by consultants Amazon has hired, which workers are required to attend.
When I listen to your feedback and then I hear what the union is saying, I am concerned that the ALU's interests do not align with yours.
Shell will treat him fairly from now on. Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Amazon has not disclosed how much they spent on union busting, but forms filed with the Office of Labor Management give us an idea of how much they're spending on captive audience meetings alone. 1 month before the union election, Chris Smalls was dropping off food to workers inside the warehouse. We met Smalls outside to interview him when he was approached by building management.
Some stunt to get back. What's up, man?
I have to ask anyone who is not an Amazon employee to please leave the property.
About 10 minutes later, police arrived and arrested Smalls for trespassing. An Amazon spokesperson responded to The Intercept's request for comment on Smalls' arrest, stating, "Mr. Smalls, who is not employed by Amazon, has repeatedly trespassed despite multiple warnings. When police officers asked Mr. Smalls to leave, he instead chose to escalate the situation, and the police made their own decision on how to respond." The union argued that Smalls, a founding member of the union, should be allowed outside the building as a visitor to help organize, and that calling the police was an aggressive union-busting tactic. 1 week before the election, and nearly 2 years after his termination, Bryson has not been allowed to return to work, despite the National Labor Relations Board finding Amazon wrongfully terminated him and filing an injunction demanding his return.
There's no reason for me to be standing here with no job or no money, bank accounts exhausted. You know, I'm a single father. I had a little $39,000 a year salary, 2 years. They still refuse to pay me. All praise is due to the National Labor Relations Board. They fought for this. And yes, I'm gonna have a chance. Hopefully I will be in there to vote along with, you know, my fellow laborers.
Amazon continued to delay the ruling on Bryson's return to work by requesting more time in discovery.
Time is a weapon that Amazon is using against its worker organizers. And the longer that Gerald goes without work, the harder it's going to be for anybody else to have the courage to stand up and say, hey, what you're doing is wrong. Protect us. Protect us from the pandemic. Protect us from...
Right. Yeah, this is like anything is on the table, even calling the cops. Like, you know, back in the day, the Pinkertons and whatnot. Yeah, these people will do anything that is available to them. My point, it's Amazon and other giants. It's an NWO. What is that?
From harassment, discrimination.
Bryson was not reinstated before the election.
I got some bad news today, so I'm not going to make it in this for the JFK election. We have to suffer more, so my rent won't be paid. I really don't know, man. I don't know. I'm lost, and I won't lie to you, I'm lost. I'll figure it out.
On April 1st, 2022, the election results were announced. The final vote count was 2,654 yes and 2,131 no, marking a historic victory for organized labor.
This is a worldwide movement, and like I said, me going back in that building is a worldwide situation. You know, to show there's hope. There's Amazons throughout the world, and there's labor movements throughout the world, and there's people in the same situation as us right here. This gives everybody hope. If Amazon, the #1 could be beat, anybody can be beat.
True. Nice. Nice. I'm guessing the New World Order? Yeah. I'm thinking the same thing. Alright, folks. We gotta talk about this. It's a thing that happened. It's a thing that happened, so here we are. It's a thing that happened. Alright, so apparently...
First of all...
Whoa. So apparently Cenk Uygur decided that despite his ineligibility to run for president, he is going to run for president in the Democratic primary, even though he has no eligibility to be president. And as you can see in the chyron underneath, or the little label underneath, I should say, Justice is Coming is available now because this is about a book. Cenk knows that he's not eligible. He tries to perform, you know, these mental gymnastics. To say that, oh, well, because of this ruling or whatever, I think I'm going to be able to, I'm going to be able to get a good ruling, to allow me to be eligible for president. He's running and getting all kinds of blow up on online forums. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the point, in my opinion. I think you're right. Yeg doesn't care about the rules. No, he just thinks that he has some law jujitsu that he can perform to be eligible, when I don't think that's how that works. He's been told this, but okay.
First of all, if Joe Biden drops out, everything is possible. Everything is possible. All the other candidates will come in. Governor Whitmer, Governor Shapiro, you name it. They will all come in, and we'll have a real primary, which we should have had from day one. By the way, when we don't do primaries, Republicans get their message out in their primaries. Is constantly talking about Republican X or Republican Y. First of all, if Joe Biden...
This isn't the thing. I never watched the main show anymore. Completely understandable. This isn't a thing. If Joe Biden isn't going to drop out and wants Biden to lose, so we have Trump and president again, and 2025 project will end democracy.
So the idea is to create enough pressure on Biden. And here's how you get the pressure. One of the ways you get the pressure is everybody thinks that I have almost no chance of winning, right? Well, let's keep it.
Well, we know that, Cenk. We don't think. We know that. Cenk, how did you fare in your congressional run? How did that go? And how do you think that by you just being in the race, are you going to force Biden out? I'm not against primarying Biden, but don't tell me that you're going to force him out. Don't tell me that you're going to force Biden out or make other people join the race when you get 20% of the vote or something, whatever, and you know, whatever delusion you sold yourself. That's not going to happen, Cenk. Just say you want to primary Biden. That's it. The only interesting thing about Cenk News, this Cenk News, is that it could potentially raise a legal challenge about presidential candidacy. Oh, because he's not eligible, so he's going to try to fight that? Maybe, but I personally, I think this is about a book deal, but, you know, whatever. It's about hawking his book. Yeah, 6%, exactly, in a congressional race. And he thinks that he's going to get 20% and force Biden, either force Biden out or get other people involved in the race. No, man. That's not how this works, Cenk.
Real, everybody knows that, right? They're like, oh, your name is funny, you weren't born here, you're a progressive, you're an outsider.
No, none of that matters except for, yeah, you're not eligible, Cenk.
Et cetera, right? If I get to 20 or 25, panic sets in. There's no question panic sets in.
You're not going to do that, Cenk, okay? There's no indication. Where did you get this number, Cenk? These are delusions of grandeur, okay? These are just delusions of grandeur, okay?
Because there's two things that happen there. One, the other candidates go, well, Biden is enormously weak, right? Number two is Biden begins to realize the handwriting's on the wall. If this Cenk Uygur, who he probably can't pronounce, has gotten to 25, the handwriting's on the wall, he's gotta go. And by the way, Anna, the reason why this is realistic is because there are a lot of people in Washington, inside the establishment, that are trying to get Joe Biden to drop out. We need to help them. We need to create that pressure.
Okay, let me jump in.
So
okay, wait. Anna, for like a split second, is going to be the voice of reason here. Is it more Cenk's speech pattern starting to resemble Trump's? I don't know.
So,
like that's not what I'm getting from that. That's not what I'm getting from that. But I don't know. Maybe you're seeing something that maybe you're seeing something that I'm not. He wasn't born here. It's the same if he wasn't the right age. Right. He's just not eligible. It's a little bit different
media dynamic. Mm-hmm. So now we have a
oh yeah, okay. We'll just
great number of online shows. We have more liberal outlets, conservative outlets, independent outlets, like you name it. We've got every kind of outlet there is in online, in radio. I've been on Black Radio. I'm going to go back onto Black Radio. I'm going to go back onto every kind of outlet that will have me on. And my guess is a lot of outlets will have me on. In the old days, mainstream media can freeze you out, right? And then you're done for. They smear you. Oh, this guy's anti-Muslim, anti-this, anti-that.
Wait a minute. So if the mainstream media can just like snuff you out, that's not the case anymore, right? So what's the excuse of the other candidates? It's how he's saying it? Maybe, I don't know. I've listened to Cenk for years, so maybe that's just like I just hear him normal. Why is Cenk praising Trump at all? I don't think he is. I don't think he is in any of this right now. Black Radio be voting Cornel West.
That, and then you never get your voice out. Well, now, look, guys, here, I'm going to keep it real. When an online show has me on, the views are going to go up because people are interested in it. And so if maybe the entire internet will say, no, we're not interested in views. No, we're not interested in Cenk. We're not interested in another choice. Biden's got it. Biden's on cruise control here. He's definitely going to win. My guess is a lot of shows, wherever they are on the political spectrum, are going to go, oh, okay, there's a
on
fight.
On the political spectrum, this is the Democratic primary. Okay, whatever, dude. There is new online media around since 2000, partially due to Cenk and his owners. Well, Cenk is the owner, right? Cenk is the owner.
And now there's a real challenge. And look, one of my advantages is I am loud. And so that is sometimes a disadvantage. But in this case, someone's got to scream from the rooftops. Biden's going to lose. Biden's going to lose. We've got to get another candidate.
Who, Cenk? Who? Okay? At this point in the game, like if this was actually like your main argument, why are you getting into the race this late in the game? Also, just coincidentally, after you released your book, just a quick question. Negative Cenk, how many stopped watching certain shows because of what you and Anna have said lately? Correct. Cenk, what are you doing? I have no idea, Mouselander. I have no idea. Delusions of grandeur. I can only describe this as delusions of grandeur. You're literally saying one thing about how being loud is an advantage, but then it's a disadvantage. I don't understand. You're talking about how all different types of political spectrums. Cenk, this is a Democratic primary. He's keeping it real. I think he believes this. I think he believes what he's saying. But also, please buy my book. No, it's his saying, Alio. He's being sarcastic. That's his saying. Running as a progressive, but disagrees with Hassan on quite a few issues. Yep. Given that discussion between him and Hassan on crime, whoo boy, oof. Anyways, this makes absolutely no sense. He's taking advantage of the concept that all attention is good attention, the same as the Freedom Caucus does. Yep. Listen, I apologize for missing. Oh no, you're good. Cenk, just say that you want to primary Biden, and just say that you want to, you got a new book. All right, that's it.
I really fail to understand how any potential Democratic candidate would see your run as a sign that they need to enter the race. I really do.
Yeah,
I don't
so
see
You
it.
got to knock Biden out. There's no
For like a split moment of like 10 seconds, like Anna's like starting to ask like the real questions. For all of 10 seconds, Anna becomes the reasonable one in this discussion, which is wild to me. This is delusions of grandeur, because she's right in this discussion. Like why is your candidacy just gonna all of a sudden automatically, number one, bring more Democratic candidates in, and two, how would that knock Biden out? Okay, listen, I get it. All right, I get it. Biden isn't an ideal candidate. I don't like Biden. But this is not it. Okay, these are delusions of grandeur. Me. Anna's right twice a day, like a clock. Well, in this case, for 10 seconds. All right. Yeah, 10 seconds of sense. That's about as much as we got here so far.
No other way around it. We have to knock Biden out. So
how, bro? How? And what? You're gonna be the guy that's gonna knock Biden out of the primary? Explain to me how that's gonna work, and explain to me in a way that'll make sense. Okay? Please lay it out for me. Lay it out for me. What's the plan here?
So now the guys who are not running currently, yeah, they believe in authoritarian rules, right?
What? What are you talking about?
If the dear leader, Joe Biden, says, I don't care if I'm 90 or 200, you will bow. They bow. And that is not what a Democrat.
This is not just a this isn't Biden unilaterally dictating what's going on, okay? There's a lot of factors here, okay? The DNC is one of them. The DNC is probably more of a bigger factor at why we're in the effed up situation more than Biden is. Does Cenk believe that Biden is unilaterally making these decisions? I don't watch COT except for the damage report and Indisputable with Dr. Rashad Ritchie. I feel that. That doesn't sound like Biden at all. Yes, ADT, the DNC is the biggest factor. They control who gets the money. Right. And so okay. Yeah, so this makes no sense. This makes no sense. Cenk, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Democrat is supposed to be. We're not supposed to bow down to authority. We're supposed to challenge authority.
Well, they're doing it to protect our democracy, Cenk.
Oh yeah.
Democracy.
Oh, and we lost it. All right, they're all right. It's gone. The 10 seconds of the 10 seconds of sense and rationality gone. That was quack. That was fast. That was fast. The DNC also makes the primary rules. Yeah, so not Biden. Okay. It's not a good look when I'm out when these people are forcing me into the position of defending Biden, because what they're saying is just objectively not correct. All right, so yep, we lost. We lost the rationality. That was about what 10 seconds. I stopped watching the main show after Benny left TYT. Understandable. Cenk is incorrect. It's the DNC and RNC. Right. That's exactly what we just said. It's more of the DNC, if anything. So I don't understand. Hey, you know what would probably be a more you know what would be probably even be more productive? Hey, why don't you run for the chair of the DNC or some shit? I don't know how that works, but why don't you try to change, try to move in that direction? If you're really trying to primary the Democrats, then I don't know, do something more productive. Maybe challenge, maybe run for the DNC chair. I don't know. I think Nina's popularity got to Cenk, and he said, "I'ma do it." How democratic are super delegates? About as democratic as the Electoral College. Hey, Sir from Good, how's it going? I'm banned in TYT channel, and I'm glad. He can't even legally run. He's not a natural citizen. Right. This is delusions of grandeur. These are delusions of grandeur. It just makes no sense. Either it's to me, in my opinion, it's a combination of just this delusion of grandeur, and he needs a book to sell. He's got a book to hawk. Both of these things can exist. Both of these things can exist. Is Cenk taking a Jordan Peterson route? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Are Cenk's parents American? No, I don't think so. He's not a natural citizen. Is the threshold that he legally can't run or he legally can't take office? I think he legally cannot take office. I think that's what they're referring. I think that's what they're referring to. Because like technically, I think you can run. It just is not going to mean anything, right? It's both? Okay, then maybe I'm wrong. I thought it was that you legally cannot assume office if you don't meet these qualifications. But yeah, I'll take that L if that's true. Yeah.
He is under threat. So.
Yeah, if you're one of those Democratic governors, don't you ever dare say that democracy is under threat and not run against the guy who has almost no chance of winning.
That's not true. That's not true at all. There's nothing preventing you, as you just proved yourself by running. There's nothing preventing any candidates from entering the Democratic primary. Hugo was born in Istanbul, Turkey, and immigrated with his family to the U.S. when he was 8 years old. Can't send his voice, so I'll be muting until he's off. We only got a few more seconds, so just a few more seconds of mute, and you'll be all right.
Giving the election to Donald Trump, I'm not going to do it. I'll do anything to make sure that doesn't happen. By the way, if you agree, it doesn't matter what your politics is. Just send in $1 at Cenk for America.
No way. Wait a minute. It doesn't matter. Just send me money for my campaign. That's not gonna go anywhere. Okay.
.com as like a protest. Oh, please, another candidate. Please, me or anyone else. Okay, so.
Wait, if I literally wanted, whoa. If I really wanted to like make a donation to a protest candidate, why would I? Why wouldn't I just not give it to the protest candidate? That doesn't make any sense. Giving me money is protest too. True. Send $1 to Cenk. Yeah. You know what, guys? In the spirit of owning the DNC, okay, in spirit of owning Biden, send me your biddies and subscriptions, okay? Every biddy, because this is literally the same thing, okay? Instead of sending Cenk $1, send me a biddy, okay? Because it's literally the same effect. Send me a biddy to show your displeasure with President Biden, okay? Oh my God. Okay, so yeah, it's official. Cenk is launching his campaign. He's running. I don't know why. So for the site, it says the following are qualifications for being a candidate. Yeah, okay, so qualifications for being a candidate. Okay, so he just can't run. Not really. Sharpie Diesel with the 100. A-Bond with the 200. Wow, really sticking it to the DNC today, folks. Sticking it to Biden. And why was Ted Cruz allowed to run? He's a natural-born Canadian, even though he had some loopholes regarding Canadian dual citizenship. I think it's that he's not allowed to be elected or taking... No. Cruz is different. I support you and Biden. No, if you donated to me... every biddy is a donation against Biden and the Democratic establishment, okay? Oh man. Cruz's parents were US citizens. Yeah, there you go. That's it. Every biddy sent is a biddy against Biden and the establishment. Young Turks, Cenk Uygur launches Democratic primary bid against Biden. The founder and outspoken host of the Progressives, I'll use that in air quotes, Progressive Young Turks, said he could win the Democratic nomination for president despite obstacles including his own overseas birth, seemingly rendering him unqualified under the U.S. Constitution. Quote, Joe Biden isn't going to win, he said on his show. announcing his extremely long shot primary to challenge the sitting president. It should not have to be me. It should not have been me. It should have been somebody else. Unfortunately, it was not anyone else. Unfortunately, it was not anyone else. There's only 4 months until the primaries begin. We must change course. He's been at best 10% chance of winning. That's just not true. I'm running as a proxy. I'm running to win, but I'm also running as a proxy for any other candidate. What are you talking about? Honestly, I'm incredibly pleasantly surprised by Biden. I mean, he's had his things here and there. Larry Hogan doesn't rule out presidential run. Oof. Oh, there's a hype train possible. Never took civics class. I just heard a lot from people are saying, yes, the Trump source, right? Many people have said. Majority of Americans think Biden's too old to serve effective second term of office, but even though the president seems likely to face a rematch with Trump, his 70-year-old twice impeached, 91 charge adjudicated rapist, alleged fraudster, election denying predecessor, no serious candidate has emerged to challenge Biden for the Democratic nod. This week, an environmental lawyer and conspiracy theorist Robert Kennedy switched his nomination to independent. Marianne Williamson, a self-help author who has denied allegations of bullying from campaign staffers, is still seeking the Democratic nomination. Uyghur City had nothing but respect from Williamson, courage, and her policies, but at this point, we're not as progressive versus establishment. We're at 4 months. So you're calling Marianne Williamson like, okay, whatever, dude. These words literally have no meaning. Yeah, all right. Good luck, Cenk. Good luck on your delusions of grandeur and selling your book, I guess. Let's ask a question. Do Secretary of States running elections recognize Cenk or the U.S. states? I don't know how that works. Yeah, like, I think West is official. And so is RFK. RFK Jr. Heat with the 10 biddies and Alia with the 6 biddies 2 minutes ago. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. That's 16 biddies against Biden and the DNC, okay? You're all doing phenomenal. I like this part. I have lawyered up. He said, I have the same lawyer as Bernie Sanders using both his presidential runs, mounting strong progressive campaigns. I'm going to the Supreme Court. Either I'm going to win or I'm going to lose. Now this case is on our side. The president is definitely on our side. Is that Cenk? Oh, wait. Hold on. I got to go back. Maybe I missed that part. Come on. I'll do it later. Oh, yeah, I literally missed it. It's the last part. It's literally... I just got so... I got ahead of myself. Yeah, I've lawyered up on the same lawyers. I'm gonna win. Yeah, dude, yeah, obviously, Cenk. There's only 2 outcomes here, Cenk. You either somehow manage to, like... get a different reading on how the Constitution works and candidate, on candidate eligibility, like James Napper said, or you don't. Literally the only 2 are, outcomes here. Besides, we don't even know if that's even gonna get to that. Whatever. All right. Good luck, Cenk. Oh, man. All right. Conscious Canuck with the tier 1 sub to Michael Hassler. Thank you. Appreciate it.
This past weekend on the Sunday morning talk shows, Matt Gaetz, of course, was the guest of honor. Because people wanted to know, of course, why did you oust Kevin McCarthy? Don't you think it's going to come back to hurt you? And Matt Gaetz, very simply, on NBC, said, yeah, not worried about it. Specifically, Matt Gaetz was asked by NBC's Kristen Welker on Meet the Press whether the effort to oust McCarthy was worth it. And Gaetz responded, absolutely. Look, I'm here to fight for my constituents, and I'm here to ensure that America is not on a path to financial ruin.
What? Okay, dude. Also, like, I think, again, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I'm going to have to rag on Farron here. I think he never switched on his microphone input to the Blue Yeti. But, yeah. I guess he's just using the camera. Is he in a hotel room? Yeah, I think he's, I think he traveled to somewhere, because I saw a tweet that he was gonna make like a surprise, like small appearance in the majority report background. Because I remember seeing a tweet from him saying to look for me in the background from the majority report. The Torque conference, maybe, because he did say that he was going to make a background appearance. Boomer, yeah, a boomer moment or a professional streamer moment, professional YouTuber moment, I guess. If GOP and MAGA knew accounting, they did not ask Trump or state Republican chairs by state.
So when she asks if it's worth it, what she means is like, hey, there's now a chance you could lose your job because Republicans want you expelled from Congress, so was it worth it just to get McCarthy to not be the speaker anymore? And Gaetz put on his brave face. He's like, oh, absolutely, I'm willing to do it, right? Now, again, I do think this is Matt Gaetz trying to put on that bravado of like, oh, I'm not scared of anything, when deep down, the dude doesn't want to lose his job, all right? Hardly anybody actually wants to lose their job.
Wait, but I thought he was gonna, like, make a pitch for governor, so it doesn't matter.
So it's ridiculous that this question was even asked, because you know he's just gonna pretend that, oh, it doesn't bother me that they're talking about expelling me. But then Gaetz brought up a point that I have made plenty of times, and Gaetz had this to say. He also said some Republican suggestion to remove him from Congress was crazy, noting that he was sent to Congress with about 70% of his district's vote. So Gaetz understands what I understand, that any effort by Republicans to expel him is effectively futile, because being expelled from Congress does not prohibit you from running for that exact same seat again and winning. And the district that I live in, which is the district that Matt Gaetz represents, yeah,
I'm sorry, Farron. I'm sorry.
80% voted for Gaetz. We have a heavily Republican district that has not voted for a Democrat since the year 1960. So maybe Gaetz isn't just putting on a tough, brave face. Maybe he understands, listen, you kick me out all you want. I'm going to go back, run for election again. They're going to send me back, and then boom, what are you going to do then? Expel me again? Cool. We'll just repeat that endless cycle forever. The only way Gaetz could actually get expelled from Congress and stay expelled is if there is some kind of evidence suggesting potentially criminal activity on Gaetz' behalf with the ongoing House Ethics Committee investigation into Gaetz. Now, obviously, over the last week, we have seen a lot of Republicans come out and start once again re-upping the Gaetz scandal. You know, talking about him bragging about all the women he was sleeping with, showing pictures on his phone on the floor of Congress to the women he's gotten with. So if there's hard evidence to suggest that Gaetz was doing illegal things, like not just improper things, okay? Not just morally questionable things. You got to be able to show illegal things. At that point, you might get his district to vote against him. But then he's just going to be replaced with a Republican who's either equally as bad or worse. So the cycle will, in one way or another, continue to repeat itself. Gaetz is able to be as crazy as he wants to be because
a child dater, allegedly.
Knows that his voters are somehow even crazier.
True.
Ring of Fire has fresh content 7 days.
Yeah, phenomenal stuff coming out of the Republican Party, huh? So, that was to kind of set the stage for this. New York Republicans are finally ready to expel Santos. Get these ads out of here. Representative George Santos' fellow New York Republicans have had enough. All 6 of Santos' fellow New York freshman GOP lawmakers said on yesterday, they would support an effort to expel Santos from the House on the heels of a superseding indictment that carries a new bombshell accusation that Santos stole the identities of some campaign donors so he could pay his own campaign more. George Santos' many deceptions, coupled with the ever-expanding legal cases against him, further strengthened my long-held belief that he is unfit to serve in Congress, and for that reason I will be sponsoring a resolution immediately to expel Santos from the House of Representatives, said Representative Esposito in a statement on Twitter. Who, me? Oh, man. Shout out to Left Flank Vets. Esposito said that fellow reps Nick Lakota, Mike Lawler, and Mark Molinero, Nick Langworthy, and Brandon Williams all support his efforts. Santos repeatedly professed his innocence and slammed the resolution, arguing it would set a dangerous precedent to throw him out. Yeah, a very dangerous precedent of, like, being expelled from Congress for literally stealing identities and fraud and whatnot. That's a very dangerous precedent to set. Oh, man. Amidst this chaotic mix, more wrenches are being thrown, further complicating matters, Santos said in a statement. It is disheartening to witness my colleagues prioritize their campaign over essential work that needs to be done. What are you talking about? How are they prioritizing their campaigns? They each run in their own district, dude. I did nothing wrong and they indicted me. The New York's move against Santos is notable as they previously led the effort in May to sidestep House Democrats' push to expel Santos. At the time, the House voted party lines to refer Democratic Representative Garcia's expulsion resolution to the House Ethics Committee. Former Speaker McCarthy previously said the ethics panel should complete its own probe before the House takes action, though McCarthy no longer holds that leadership position for the time being. Great to hear that New York Republican freshmen are finally ready to expel the fraudster George Santos from Congress. Months ago, every single one of them voted against expelling Santos, Garcia said in a statement. He has been able to get away with fraud and lies far too long, when the House Republicans have sat by and protected him. The House has only expelled 5 lawmakers in history, underlining the severity of the punishment. It requires 2/3 of the chamber to vote in favor of kicking a member out. If only 7 New Yorks were able to change their votes, the House would still fall short of that high threshold. The last time the House voted to expel a lawmaker was in 2002 when it kicked out Representative James Traficant, an Ohio Democrat, following his conviction on 10 felony counts including bribery. Expelling Santos would further narrow House Republicans' increasingly slim majority. Right now, the GOP can only afford to lose 4 votes for any measure if Democrats unite in opposition. Unlike in the Senate, House vacancies must be filled by special elections, meaning there's no quick way to replace Santos if he is kicked out. Right now, Santos' status is overshadowed by broader GOP drama. Following McCarthy's historic ouster, there is some debate if acting Speaker pro tempore Patrick McHenry holds any meaningful power until a new speaker is elected. House Republicans are meeting behind closed doors on Wednesday with the hopes of completing the first step in finding a new leader. Phenomenal stuff. I don't think the House should be able to kick out members. They should be recalled by their constituents. I mean, I guess in a representative democracy, that's like as close as it gets. Yeah, I think that would be better. I mean, like we have a lot of local and state positions that can be recalled. So, like, why should this be any different? I think any elected position should have that option. That would be nice. War is a racket, true. The way our elections recalls work, though, or don't work as it may be. Yeah. The fact that they all have to turn in their phones to have a secret meeting is wild. Yep. Switching gears really quickly. Bob Menendez hit with new charge of conspiring to act as a foreign agent. New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez and his wife have been accused by the Justice Department of conspiring to act as a foreign agent for Egypt, according to a new court document unsealed today. The superseding indictment filed in Federal District Court of New York charges Menendez with one count of conspiracy for a public official to act as an agent of a foreign principal, the Egyptian government, and its officials. Federal law prohibits Menendez as a public official from serving as a foreign agent. Prosecutors said that Menendez further promised to take a look at a series of acts on behalf of Egypt, including on behalf of the Egyptian military intelligence officials, and conspired to do so with Wael Hanna, the New Jersey businessman from Egypt who runs a halal meat company, and his wife. Yeah, is this the gold bar guy? Yeah, that's him. The new indictment claims that Hanna and Nadine Menendez communicated requests and directives from Egyptian officials to Menendez. Neither Hanna nor Nadine are registered as foreign agents or lobbyists, the Justice Department said. Menendez, along with Nadine Menendez, Hanna, and the other two New Jersey businessmen were charged last month for allegedly engaging in a bribery scheme that prosecutors said involved the senator accepting lavish bribes in exchange for official acts. Yeah, Menendez and his wife were charged with 3 counts in the initial indictment and now face a total of 4. The senator pleaded not guilty to all charges during his arraignment. On 3 counts last month, he temporarily stepped down from his role as leading the Senate Foreign Relations Committee after the original charges were brought. In a statement today, the government's latest charges files in the face of my long record standing up for human rights and democracy in Egypt and challenging the leaders of that country, including President El-Sisi, on these issues. I have been throughout my life, loyal to only one country, the United States of America, the land and my family chose to live in democracy and freedom. Okay, but like, what about the bribery charges, dude? Okay. That's not denying the accusations there, buddy. Menendez continued to maintain his innocence. Piling new charges upon new charge does not make the allegations true. The facts haven't changed, only a new charge. It is an attempt to wear someone down, and I will not succumb to this tactic. I again ask people who know me and my record to give me the chance to present my defense and show my innocence. Well, you're going to trial, so yeah. The new charging document details at least 2 meetings Menendez and Hanna had at the Manhattan restaurant in 2018 and 2019, the second of which also included an unnamed Egyptian official. Prosecutors claim that Nadine had meetings and direct communication with multiple Egyptian officials, at least some of who she understood were intelligence officials, and received requests from them and conveyed information and requests from them to Menendez. The initial document, prosecutors said Nadine and Hanna worked in the years after Nadine and the senator began dating to introduce him to Egyptian intelligence and military officials in an effort to solidify a corrupt agreement. Under the deal, prosecutors alleged Menendez and his wife would receive hundreds of thousands of dollars in bribes in exchange for acts beneficial to the Egyptian government. The Justice Department said that a search of his home in 2022 yielded the fruits of Menendez and Nadine's corrupt bribery agreement. Federal agents found the $480,000 in cash, which was stuffed in envelopes and hidden in clothing, closets, and safes, according to the court filings. Photographs included in the indictment show gold bars and cash spread across the jacket, bearing the Menendez name, as well as Mercedes-Benz convertibles that Nadine allegedly received through the alleged bribery plot. Jesus. Nadine is accused of arranging meetings and dinners with Menendez and Egyptian officials in 2018, during which the senator alleged to promise to use his power to facilitate foreign military sales and financing in exchange for Hanna, who paid for dinners, putting his wife on the company payroll. The allegations from the Justice Department prompted a flood of calls for Menendez to resign including from New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy, fellow New Jersey Senator Cory Booker, and many of his Democratic colleagues in the Senate, following the latest accusation from Menendez that Menendez conspired to act as a foreign agent. Senator John Fetterman, a Pennsylvania Democrat, said full Senate should vote to expel the New Jersey senator. We cannot have an alleged foreign agent in the United States Senate. This is not a close call. The senators had resisted pressure to step down, and instead he vowed that he will be exonerated. Okay. Sure. So his wife had meetings with Egyptian intelligence people and had gold bars and stash of cash, and he claims he's innocent. Hollywood needs to make a movie out of this. It does sound like a freaking Hollywood scheme, doesn't a Hollywood movie plot, doesn't it? It does sound like a Hollywood plot. Menendez last month said that the cash found by the agents was withdrawn from his personal savings account and kept for emergencies. $480,000? What emergency is that? That would require, like, literally you could just buy a house. As has been practiced for decades, he also cited the history of my family facing confiscation in Cuba to explain why he kept large amounts of cash in his home? Question mark? Okay, dude. The most recent charge comes from Menendez years after Menendez was indicted in 2015 on roughly a dozen counts, including bribery and conspiracy. Wait, so like I said on the previous article, the previous time we talked about this, when the story broke out, you've been indicted on this before. You acting in this manner is not new. You keep $5,000 for an emergency. $400 cash would fill a dishwasher. Yeah, I mean, I don't even have $4,000 to keep for an emergency. What? I wish I had $4,000. Conscious Canuck with another tier 1 sub. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That case ended in a mistrial when jurors were unable to reach a verdict after deliberating for more than a week. Just making sure the mods are not subject to ads for a little while. Appreciate that. Maybe he's just trying to get a better plea deal. Sounds like they have him cold. Maybe. It doesn't look good. Not good. Not great. Not good. An Oklahoma judge could be removed from office for sending more than 500 texts during a murder trial. Yeah. A new Oklahoma judge could lose their job for sending more than 500 texts to her bailiff during a murder trial, including messages mocking the prosecutor, praising the defense attorney, and calling a key witness a liar. The Chief Justice of the Oklahoma Supreme Court recommended the removal of Lincoln County District Judge Stacey Soderstrom in a court filing Tuesday following an investigation by the state's Council on Judicial Complaints. Soderstrom has been under scrutiny since July after she was caught on camera scrolling through social media and texting during the trial of a man accused of a fatal beating of a 2-year-old. Soderstrom was sworn in on January 9th after being elected in November, was suspended with pay pending the outcome of a hearing by the court on the judiciary, which will determine whether to remove her from the bench. Damn, imagine if we had some type of like system to hold like the Supreme Court justices who are engaging in like what can only be described as outwardly embracing corruption. If only we had like a system to do that. I wish Judge Menendez is cleaner. They probably don't even know how much cash they have. Yep. Also, bribing the mods so I can finally be banned. Oh, man. The pattern of conduct demonstrates respondents Soderstrom gross negligence of duty, gross partiality, and oppression. Chief Justice John Kane IV wrote, the conduct further demonstrates Soderstrom's lack of temperament to serve as a judge. A phone call to a number listed on Soderstrom's rang unanswered before disconnecting on Wednesday. The judge's text includes saying that the prosecutor was sweating through his coat during a questioning of potential jurors and asked, why does he have baby hands? What the heck? According to Kane's petition. The text described the defense attorney as awesome and asked, can I clap for her during the defense attorney's opening arguments? Whew boy. Soderstrom also texted a laughing emoji icon to the bailiff, who had made a crass and demeaning reference to the prosecuting attorney's genitals. Oh boy. Christian Marcel, the man who was on trial with a judge, was on her phone. It was eventually convicted of second-degree manslaughter in the 2018 death of his son's girlfriend and sentenced to time served. Marcel's girlfriend and the mother of the child pleaded guilty to enabling child abuse and was sentenced to 25 years and was a key prosecution witness who was called a liar by Soderstrom during the testimony. Quote, state couldn't accept that a mom could kill her kids, so they went after the next person available. Soderstrom texted according to the filing from Kane. Soderstrom text also included comments questioning whether a juror was wearing a wig, if a witness had teeth, and calling a police officer testified pretty, adding, I could look at him all day. Oh boy. When questioned by the Council on Judicial Complaints, Soderstrom said their texting probably could have waited, rather than realizing the comments should have never been made. What? Like, oh yeah, obviously the thing that I did wrong here, was that, I didn't wait to make those comments. She said, she thought that that's funny and move on. Oh yeah, this person should not be a judge at all. The security video published by the Oklahoma newspaper showed Soderstrom texting or messaging for minutes at a time during her jury selection, opening statements and testimony during the trial in Chandler, about 45 miles from northeast Oklahoma City. Kane's petition also said Soderstrom previously criticized other attorneys and prosecutors and berating a member of the courthouse staff. Soderstrom should be removed for reasons that include gross negligence of duty, gross partiality in office, and oppression on office. The judge's 4-year terms ends in 2027. Yeah, this person should absolutely be removed. That's wild. And the fact that like these more local judiciaries have much more checks and balances than like the Supreme Court is wild to me. I mean, there's not much to say on this article other than like nice meme. They don't have the votes. And it's going to be quite the drawn-out circus on this. And it's probably going to be like that for a while. I just don't know how long that while is going to be. The circus continues, folks. All right, folks, we got to get going. Here's Jim Jordan as Speaker Accelerationism. Oh, man. Welcome, Carpe. Oh, God. Honestly, like, I don't know, Jim Jordan or David Duke without the baggage. I mean, you know. All right, folks, I got to get going. A couple of shout-outs. if you haven't followed already, please take a moment to follow twitch.tv/carpetpacks. I saw Surfer McGritty. Let's just give it let's just give it to the corpse of Feinstein at this point. True. Twitch.tv/Surfer McGritty. Twitch.tv/AlioShare. And I think I have one more. Twitch.tv/Mouselander. I like the racists who tell me they're racist. I mean, it doesn't get more explicit than that, right? I'm David Duke without the baggage. Oh, that's right. And the resident mod, Heat420_. Twitch.tv/Heat420_. They are starting to stream again. Thank you for the shoutouts. Not a problem. You're a good one. Thank you. Appreciate it. It's still fresh. That's true. Yellow King, how's it going? Welcome. Thank you, folks. Thank you. Spread It Forward. Thank you, Heat. Thank you, Michael Haster, for being mods in the channel. Thank you all for the tremendous support. You guys have been amazing. Thank you, guys. Thank you for all the biddies. Thank you, what's that, for the very generous 1,000 biddies. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you for the gifted subscriptions, Conscious Canuck. I appreciate it. Oh, God, he said that. Yeah. The simulacra pointed that out. Yep. That was an actual quote. Yep. Actual quote. So, yeah. Take your pick. Phenomenal stuff, right? The two choices that the GOP came up with is David Duke without the baggage and a dude who's like who ran cover for like sexual assault. Yeah. Yep. Those are literally the two choices that the GOP put in front. When I have a job again, I'll help you out in more channels. I'll help out in more channels. Being unemployed is fun. It's all good. I appreciate it. I appreciate you just being here. Thank you guys so much for the support. I appreciate it. If you guys want to continue, it's probably pronounced simulacra like simulacra without the Asian and add the acra. I think they told me how to pronounce it once. I'm pretty sure. I think I remember. I can't. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. I'm just stepping over toes over here. No, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, so if you want to support the channel, make sure that you head on over to the YouTube channel and hit the subscribe button. All of that helps out. Thank you so much for the biddies and the subscriptions. It really does help the channel out. Thank you guys so much. Honestly, I'm just gonna laugh so fucking hard if Hakeem Jeffries gets nominated. Yeah, like if anything, like you know, the tabling the fact that like Hakeem Jeffries and well that goes with said Representative Jeffries, it would just be a nice meme. It would just be a nice meme for the sake of being a nice meme, you know. Thanks, no problem. Thank you for being a part of the chat. Simplemente, I appreciate it. Thank you all for hanging out. We'll be back Monday. So again, spread the word far and wide. We're here Monday through Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern time. Spread the word. Bring a friend. As always, please stay safe. Please take care of each other. I love you all, and I hope to see you guys in the next one Monday, 5 p.m. Eastern time. See you. Hang tight, folks. We're heading out in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See ya. Very good stream. Appreciate it. Thank you. Bye-bye.